So here is what the future will be. One of three things. The future will either be a total recall future, the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger from 1990, I believe it is. We're going to either have that future or we are going to have a future of tribalistic homestead. What did I write here? It slipped my mind. Communal. There will be tribalistic homestead communal living with some tech, or there will be complete destruction. Mankind will destroy itself. Some stupid person will send the nuke or the bomb and it will blow up, and then everybody else will join in because this is how humans are. You know, we are a species that can be very intelligent, but can also be very stupid. So, yeah, those are one of the three things. Mark my words. Mark these words. They're not, I don't even believe or think that they're my words anymore. This is just when you have full intelligence of man and other people, places, things, the earth, history, agriculture, the way our minds think, and just everything. When you look at all of these things, you come to the conclusion of one of a few things. And this is what is going to happen. I guarantee that in the years to come, people will be coming to me asking me, well, what should we do? What are some solutions? And I will say, I do have solutions, but I do not have any ultimate or absolute answers. I have solutions, but I don't have answers. Because if I'm being honest, there really is no ultimate answer in reality or life. But listen, when I talk about a total recall future, there will be a time, if this does happen, where instead of in the movie when he's strapped in and he gets this thing around his head and he got clothes on and stuff, no, see, they weren't thinking. You see, they weren't using their mind. They weren't really intelligent, because in order to have a machine, something like that, in order to be there, but to be in an imagined reality, you would have to be naked. You would have to be in some sort of contraption to where when you move in the dream world, your muscles move with the machine. Your muscles are twitching as you are thinking of what you're doing. And with your teeth, there's something that's going to have to open your mouth up and brush your teeth. There's something that's going to have to bring you and dip you into water or a solution to clean you. You're going to have a tube going in you somehow, something either like the Matrix, where it's in your mouth, or intravenously, where it's feeding the person nutrients to live. Do you see what I'm saying? They weren't thinking. You can't do that. How long was he in the machine? You know what I mean? You can't just go to this. In the movie, he goes to this place and he gets in the machine with his pants and a shirt on, and they strap him in. He can't move. That couldn't happen. Then they put this thing around his head. No, it would have to be something similar to the Matrix movie, where you're in something where you can move around and you're in this imagined place. I'm just saying, like, this sounds like science fiction, but this is what I'm telling you. This is definitely possible within the next 10, 25 years. I would say 10 to 25 years, this will start slowly happening. Because what I truly think for myself is we are at the eschaton of human history. I think we have played our cards out, so to speak. I don't really think we know what else to do. We don't know what else to transcend into. We have already done everything that we almost possibly can do. Now, the things that we will be doing will seem so bizarre. It will seem so weird and so crazy. And this is something that Terrence McKenna said in some of his videos. He said that the future will be so strange. It's going to get so weird. And what's happening is everybody keeps talking about how time's speeding up, how everything seems off. Don't you realize that's because we are in the eschaton. We are coming to the end of human thought and history, kind of. I don't know if I want to say human thought, but we are at the end. We don't know what to do with ourselves. So everybody's just looking towards everybody else. Like, what are we doing? What are we going to do? And nobody has a vision. Nobody is imagining, bringing some of their imagination into a world that they can vision, that they can envision. And I agree with when it says, for when the people do not have a vision, they perish. And I absolutely believe that as a person, because if you don't have a vision, what is your life? What are you going to do in your life? You know what I mean? And this is why, to me, the imagination is very important. And your imagination is only your imagination. Nobody can see it, but you can bring some of that. Bring that into reality. Bring a vision into reality. We, people like me, artists and creators, we need that. We need a vision. We need to see. It doesn't matter if people see it as bizarre or weird or, oh, what are you doing? That's crazy. You're a madman. So what? So what? That's the only way that you're going to transcend what has been going on for thousands and thousands of years. And I'm not saying we're still bringing stuff from old into the new, but we are we're not evolving. We are devolving in some strange way. We are going back. It seems like we've been going like this. And we're kind of, people now, they want CDs again. We're going back. We realized that we have gone too far. We have progressed way too quick and way too fast for our own good, our own brains. Like, progress is actually something that is not a good thing when it really comes down to it. Because progress is something that needs to keep being better and bigger and more and whatever. And to me, I know from experience that less is more. Less has made me way more of a creative person. When I was limited, I had to use my mind more. When I had limited tools, when I had limited a drum machine with only a couple sounds, when I was limited with only 4 tracks to record music, I made some of the best stuff I've ever made because I was limited. I had limited tools. I had limited ability, so I had to use my mind. I had to exercise my creativity. I had to transcend in what I was doing. So keep that in mind. But the thing with this that I was just talking about, if that doesn't happen for some reason, if the human history, like I said, I truly believe that we are at both the eschaton, as in ESCHATON, as the end of human history, or we are at the eschaton, ESKATON, which is a new beginning. It is what is the definition? If you look it up, it will tell you the dawning of a new day. And The 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 one, the Eschaton, eschaton, the dawning of a new day, is when I believe and think is when we become self-sustaining minded, when we become temple minded and self-sustaining minded, where we get smaller tribes of people together and we go and we get property and we start to plant food and we start to build our own huts, our own yurts, our own little houses or whatever, and we get some animals and we go from there. We get a water filtration system. We literally have a place where we can be self-sustaining. Then we can focus more on artistical things. We can focus more on craft and creativity and imagination and sexual energy and those things that we were always supposed to, in my view, how I see it. But the thing that might thwart all of this, which the way that we're going right now, why do we have all these nuclear weapons? Really, really think about this. Why are we, if these men in power say that they're peacemakers and they're not for any of these things they say that they're for, then why do you have a military? Why do you have weapons? Why do you have guns? Why do you have bombs? Why do you have atomic nuclear missiles? See, there's two different worlds here, folks, that a lot of people are living in. And I'm not living in the world that most people are living in. I've gone from that world. Some of the things from that world, yes, they're still in the cabinets of my mind or my thoughts or what makes me this thing. But at the same time, I'm on a completely other paradigm, different paradigm than the thought of what most of the world continues to be on and continues to think that they have to keep living that way. Or listen, we are witnessing right now, we are literally witnessing the breakdown of the things that we've been doing for hundreds and hundreds of years. We have grown bored. It has gotten stale. It's stagnant. It's like water that hasn't moved for a very long time, and it's rotten and it's nasty and it stinks and it needs to be filtered. But not in the way people think, though. See, it's not for more progression. It's not to get more and more and more. Yes, we should live more abundantly, but it's not for what people think it is. It's not for more pride. It's not for more progression. It is to come into being in a temple mind. It should be a sanctity mind, where we should be focused on where we are, taking care of that, and at the same time, bringing our imagination and vision into the world as much as we can. And then we have to learn how to be silent, but at the same time, when we do make noise, let it be creative noise. Let it be a noise where we're doing something to help ourselves or help another person. There needs to be more 5 sense therapy. We need to be touching more. We need to be communicating more. And then when we do all those things, we go into our silence, we go into our sanctuary, we go into the space where we can have peace. And people just don't understand. Peace is more valuable than any gold. Peace is more valuable than any precious stone, any gold on this earth. Trust me. Your peace is more valuable than anything when it all comes down to it. And that's the paradox. We're in a chaotic world, and that's why peace matters so much. But see, the thing is, though, we don't need to keep creating chaos in order to have things to do. We need to look at it completely different. We have got to wipe the slate clean, wipe the books clean. We've got to go to ground zero. That's what we have to do. If we don't do that right now, if we don't get out of denial and just say, look, we don't know what we're doing. We are just, we're in a place where we're miserable, we're lonely, we don't really know what to do. We have to literally stop being in denial, and we have to start from scratch. And we have to do it in a way that has never been done before. And we need more people like myself to organize it and make it some kind of structure, that there is a structure, and then there is freedom, but there has to be some kind of ritual or structure, or there has to be something that you need to do. Like, people don't want to say this, but everybody here just wants to feel and know that they are wanted for something, that they are needed for something in the world. And this is what's happening. Just look at what's happening. There's no mentors. Nobody wants to teach anybody anything. Nobody wants to learn anything, because people don't want to get involved with other people's drama. And this is why we have to start filtering out our own drama. We have to start looking within ourselves. We have to look in the mirror, even if it hurts. You have to be able to look at you and take full accountability and full responsibility for yourself. And I have to do that for myself. If we don't do that, nothing works. Nothing goes how we would like it to go. It's going to go Ari. And I can't explain to people how you transcend your thought into what I'm speaking about. I can't explain that to people. It's something that's either going to happen or it's not going to happen. And you just get to this. It ain't even, you don't get to a point. You just see that you are a river flowing, and you realize, what do I have to lose anyway? So, do I want to live the rest of my life absolutely miserable, hating everything, saying what's wrong with the world? Or do I want to create something for myself where I have peace, and I have art, and I have other people that I can go to when I really, really need something, but not be bothered and intruded on or being forced to do anything? It's like, hey, I need to do this today. That's what I need to do. Then I have time to do what I want to do. But it starts, here is where it starts. It starts with property. Listen to what I'm telling you. It starts with property. If you have the money or the resources, you have to get a property and start there. Then you can get yourself some seeds. You can read some books on how to plant food and how to grow herbs and other things, medicinal herbs. Like, there's a guy named Joe Hollis, where he died a little while ago. He owns something in North Carolina. It's like a homestead little communal thing where he has yurts there, and he has people that cook food, and he has plants growing, and he doesn't even attain to them. They just grow on their own. And he just walks around, and he picks it, and he crushes it up, and he puts it in the bottles, and he sells it. And He's making a living there. He's making the living there, being self-sustaining. He uses everything. He uses his piss, his pee for something. They use everything for something, to grow something or to do something with. Nothing goes to waste. So, see, we're in a world right now where we are working for corporations to get one of a few people rich while we're just getting by. And we're not happy. We're miserable. And I'm not going to use the word happy. We are not content. We are not in a space where we can get rid of this anxiety and this worry and this stress, because we're constantly stressed doing something that we know is not ours. And even though those things have what we need, see, this is where we're trapped. We go to the food store and get food because we have to eat. But those places are corporations that a few people own, that are getting all the extra money and living wealthy and living probably a good life. They can go out and get any wine. They can buy any car. They can get any home. They can get any property. They can travel the world if they want. While we're stuck at a place working for them to get, for them to live that life. Why can we not all do the things we want to do and have time and say, hey, look, someone else will pick up the slack a little bit while I go and do my thing, and then I will do that for them in return, because I already know I'm going to be somewhere where I have my own man cave, or a woman has her own woman cave to go to. I have my own plants. I have animals that are producing eggs and milk if I'm into dairy. I have a water filtration system where it catches the rain and it cleans the water. I have solar panels. I have a place I built. And yes, it's going to take time. But if we're not willing to sacrifice, I'm just sowing the seed in this video. I'm just sowing the seed. That's all. Through my word, through my thought, through what I know to be true. That's where it starts. It starts with getting a property. This is the one word that should be on everybody's mind. Property, resources, seeds, art, craft, creativity, imagination. Now, one way is a way where we're going to keep living by and living with and supporting the thing that we call the system. The total recall way is the system way. And this is where most people, this is where a majority of the world is going, is the total recall way. There are few. Broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. Now, when I use this example, I'm saying the things that are a part of the system. I'm not saying everything. I'm saying parts of it that are not right. Broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. Narrow is the way that few take, because they don't have the understanding. They've never been taught any of this. I'm sorry to tell you, school, your parents, your friends, your teachers, your relatives, your community you were in, I'm sorry, they never taught you or told you any of this stuff. This is the school of self-sustaining principles. This is the school of your temple. This is the school of true expression, when you really feel like you need to express. but you're not forced to express. But when something needs done, then you and I will know that, okay, this is something that needs done and I need to be needed. So I know I'm at where I'm supposed to be because I'm doing something to take care of myself. I'm doing something that's going to sustain me. I'm doing something that's going to keep me busy. I'm going to use my muscles. I'm going to be able to exercise a little. This is the only way to do this. And very few, if they don't listen, are not going to go the resource property way. Listen, we will be labeled as madmen. We will be labeled as crazy, nuts. Oh, you can't do that. See, this is the thought of people. Oh, you can't do that. No, that's not possible. See, right there, you've already defeated the whole thing. It is possible. And that's where it starts. And that will give you and I years to do something, years and years to be doing something self-sustaining and creating something. That is the only thing that I can see for myself in the coming time. So please help support the channel. Take care.